You can sit here and argue with me for days about the Harry Potter series and whether or not it has any literary merit, and I will sit here and defend those books for as long as it takes. But what you cannot argue with me about is Harry Potter's impact on modern society. This series of 7 books has spawned movies, video games, Legos, video games about Legos, and tons of other merchandise. But Harry Potter is so much more than just a cash cow franchise. It is a cultural phenomenon, and I didn't have to look very far to find other people who are just as touched by the series as I was.
I feel like I really would be a completely different person. Like, Harry Potter is kind of my life. I don't really go a single day without reading some of the book in capacity. Like, my books are falling apart because I read them so much. And it really has changed the way that I think about life and like how I value people. Just like all the themes that they have, like friendship and bravery and loyalty, like that's how I feel about life. Since I'm a writer, like it changed the way that I thought about writing.
They were the first books that I ever read. I'm an English education major, so I want to teach English to other students and that kind of stuff. And if I hadn't read Harry Potter, I don't think I ever would have gotten to that point. I've always identified the best with Hufflepuff because even to me it seems like loyalty helped defeat Voldemort more than bravery. And I don't know, I like to think of myself as loyal, and I think that I work hard, and I like to think that if you work hard you can get places, and that's what I'm trying to do.
I've fallen in love with all of the characters, so I feel like they're my friends, and that's really cheesy to say, kind of a loser's thing to say, but I feel like related to them, and like their pain is my pain, and the writing is so well written that I forget that I'm not like walking behind them and hanging out with them.
Harry Potter fans have created their own subculture, complete with their own websites, conventions, and even their own music genre.
If you're a Harry Potter fan and you don't know what Wizard Rock is, get into it now because you're going to be as sad as I am that you missed out on that much time of it.
The Harry Potter series has also spawned massive amounts of fan fiction. That's stories that are written by fans based on the original work. As of now, there are over 500,000 Harry Potter fan fictions posted on fanfiction.net, and that's just that one website.
How do you feel about it? Do you think it's cool that people are expanding on this already really extensive universe, or would you rather just read the books?
Oh, I love fan fiction. Now that all the books are out, I mean, don't get me wrong, the canons are always better, but sometimes it's fun to read the fan fiction. I'm writing a very long fan fiction that will probably take forever, in which Neville was the chosen one instead of Harry.
I really like fan fiction. I always have. I've written some when I was younger. I think it's interesting to see other people's take on it. I kind of find it annoying when they're like try to write it because they're there and they're like, oh, I'm gothic vampire in my convertible car at Hogwarts, like. But I mean, if that's your thing, it's not my place to judge. I mean, if that's what makes you happy, by all means, like, write. It's really important that people learn to write because there's so many people that just like Facebook and Xbox, like they don't appreciate people who can write anymore. So if that gets people out there to write, then all for it, and I would love to read it because I like to read fan fiction.
Something that a lot of non-Potter fans might not understand is that this series isn't just something that we grew up with, it's something that grew up with us as well.
The books grow with you. Like, when the first book came out, I was a little kid, like 7 or 8 years old, and it's written for 7 or 8 years old, but by the time the book came out, I was senior in high school.
I think so, yeah.
Like, it wasn't written for kids, obviously. There was lots of death, there was lots of things that adults deal with, and that's why so many people are into it, because it grew with you. And it wasn't just a kid thing.
And with the official end to the series coming this July, with the release of the final movie, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, that leaves some of us wondering, what are you supposed to do with your life now that Harry Potter's over?
I will have no reason to live once the last movie comes out. That's really sad. It's the last thing I'm looking forward to, but I feel like the fans are going to keep it alive. But it probably won't be as crazy as it used to be.
It might die down a bit in like the media and stuff, but I don't think the people who have been seriously impacted by this book are just going to throw it to the wayside. Between the theme park and the movies that are out and the books that they keep reprinting, I mean, I don't think that it's ever going to completely die out. I mean, there are people out there who are still obsessed with the Lord of the Rings books that have been out for forever. Yeah. So I don't think it'll go away.
Do you think that, like, the next generation will be able to get into Harry Potter like we were, or will it be different for them because the spoilers are already out there and there isn't that anticipation of waiting for the next book to come out? You can just go to the library and get the next one and not have to wait for several years before the next installment.
I think it'll be a lot different. I think a lot of kids will be interested in it, but it won't have the crazy fandom that we had.
Well, and I guess one of the things that I really like about it is the whole society that it's, like, this kind of sub-society that it's created, because there were people who, you know, the best thing about the Harry Potter series was, since it wasn't all out, you could just be like, oh my god, what's going to happen in, like, for instance, when Deathly Hallows was about to come out, the big thing was Snape good or evil, and everybody was debating about it, and it was just this huge community. And so I don't know how, like, the next generation, I guess, who starts reading these books is going to feel. They just don't have that same community that made Harry Potter what it was.
Fans have created a really strong community amongst themselves, and that's something that isn't just going to disappear. Now that we have things like the internet that can bring us together despite any physical distances between us, I think that the Harry Potter community will continue to be strong and vibrant and possibly even grow in the years to come. And honestly, I don't see this ending anytime soon.